Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantele.
It's Chantel's birthday!
It's my birthday, my born day, the 25th of January.
Yay! David and I have a birthday song, so I'm going to sing it to you. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey! That's it.
It isn't very long. Hey, thank you. Thank you for that. A quick little ditty for my birthday. A
Little
birthday
ditty.
ditty. Little
How are you
ditty.
today on your birthday?
I mean, I'm pretty good, but the weather is not so good. Let's just show you a little bit about what this Toronto weather is
Oof.
like. Hold on, let's see. You can
Ew.
kind of see that's outside. Wait, is that the one? You can kind of see all the cars on the in front of me. Yeah. So yeah, that well, there's a screen door, but there's a screen. You can kind of see the screen,
Yeah.
but like it's just like literally sideways snow.
Oh.
So I have to cancel. This is my back porch.
Oh
But
my
I have to cancel
gosh.
my birthday. We were gonna
Oh,
go to a restaurant called Paris, Paris,
Patty
and
Patty.
le thème est Paris chic. But I'll have to put my beret away for another
Oh,
day.
oh, this is sadness. I mean, it looks beautiful on pictures, and it probably looks beautiful out your window, but
It's
not
like kind of a lot of honking because like
oh.
literally bumper to bumper outside. People are just like, and then like spinning tires. But
No.
when it comes nighttime and it's just like a big thick layer of snow and it's really quiet, it will be quite nice.
It's just a bummer because you can't go out and celebrate because, well, first off, it's dangerous, but
I mean, I would because like living in Montreal, my birthday, I generally have a storm on my birthday. Like this is
mm,
not a new occurrence.
sure.
And up until like I actually saw it outside, I was like, whatever. I'm from Canada. I lived in Montreal. I can handle a snowstorm. But then I
Right.
had some people coming from a little bit of a far distance. And I also don't want to be in an empty restaurant. So I was like, let's just postpone it. We'll try for tomorrow if it can work out. So
Right.
right now it's a day later push.
Well, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
You look gorgeous. You dressed
Wiser?
up
I
anyway.
look
Would
wiser?
oh, yeah, just a little wiser you look. Mhm.
Thank you.
Not any older. You don't look
No,
any
oh my no,
older.
I mean, I'm Benjamin Buttoning right now.
Yes, that's right. Well, thank you for people showing up. Chantel and I just wanted to do a little celebration. Well, honestly, I just wanted to. I forced Chantel into this. I wanted to celebrate. So we're just going to have fun today. We're going to chat. We're obviously going to talk astrology. We can't not. We're going to look at Chantel's year ahead for this Solorotan.
When I was
But
saying,
yeah,
like, absolutely, I would do this because I'm always giving readings. I never get a reading. And so it's nice to have the attention on me for, really for a change. Because, I used to maybe pay for readings when I was younger. But then as I started learning,
right,
I became the reading giver.
right.
And so, yeah, it stopped happening. So it's really nice to receive a little birthday reading. So I appreciate it.
But the good thing about astrology is we constantly learn, like it's endless details to astrology. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, anytime we do get a reading, we do usually learn something new
Yeah,
and go,
absolutely.
oh my God, that makes sense. Or, have those little light bulb moments. So,
Well, and I
and
also can't really read my own chart. Like, yes,
oh,
well, I can and I can't. But
yeah.
how when I want to read my own chart, I have to like write it out as if I'm not trying to relate it to me and just be
Hmm.
very, very generic about it and then read it after and then see what I take in. Because if I'm looking at it that I'm trying to like relate it to me and does that make sense to me? And is that you know what I mean? And like I
Yeah.
start not being able to really read what it's saying. So I just do like a blanket kind of reading and then I read it over again after from my perspective.
Sure. Are you covering the Challenge World Championship, and what the heck is that?
Probably. You're
Wait,
gonna maybe we'll do an alternating covering it. So that
well,
is
this
so remember how
is
all the different countries are coming together. So we did the USA together through your channel. So maybe we'll do like bouncing back and forth. You can do it on my channel or whatever. We can figure something out. But they did just announce today that I believe March something is going to be the global championship premiere date on a Wednesday, I believe. So
what?
by then, I'm assuming UK and Argentina will have finished by then. What it looks like is all the challenge vets. So I don't know if that's the winners or I don't know how they're actually doing it, but they said they're going to be paired together with a challenge veteran. So I don't know if that's an MTV veteran or how they're doing that, but people are going to be paired up like that, it seems. So that's what I read today.
Okay, wait. I get so confused on all the
Okie
different
dokie.
challenges.
Let
So,
me know.
yes. Okay, the World Championship is part of the CBS thing. Okay, so yes, I will definitely want to cover that. You're going to definitely cover that. We'll probably cover it together.
Mhm.
But is that what was just announced today, or are you talking about
So
something?
yeah, that is
Okay.
what was announced today was the premiere date. Oh shoot. I had an article for this, but
March
no.
8th. Okay, are
Yeah.
they going to pair it with Survivor then?
No. Oh, I don't know actually.
Because
Maybe it's
Survivor's on
after
a
Survivor.
Wednesday.
Maybe that's going to take the Amazing Race time slot at 9.
Yeah, I bet it will if
And
it's
at that point,
Wednesdays.
MTV's the challenge will not be. They'll be done for 2 weeks. So MTV's audience will most likely bounce over to the challenge global. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they already filmed it. We were aware that they filmed it at the end of last year.
Hmm.
So we knew that was filmed, but wow, that's a great turnaround. I'm excited. I missed that info today, so thank you for that. Put it on the schedule.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yes.
Wednesdays after that is when that will be airing.
Okay, great. Love that. Um, what else is going on in the world of Chantele? You just turned, what are we saying? 31 today?
Well, I mean, we are. Should we say 33? Because like I am turning an
Yeah.
angel number today.
Okay. We'll say
So
33. That's a good number. Um, what do you got big goals this year? What are we feeling?
Okay. Well, one goal that I would love to accomplish, and I've been talking about it for many years now, is I would love to get together my script. I was calling it Flight Life, but then I was calling it Chasing Clouds. It's my script about my experiences and some of the experiences of my coworkers in the airline industry. And so I've written a rough draft of a pilot, and I've been waiting because I was taking it with Sundance. So Sundance Collab has like different directing programs, writing programs. So I'd taken a couple of their writing programs to write my first draft. And then I
Mhm.
wanted to do like the rewrap right with them and mapping the series Bible with them, but they haven't offered it yet. So I would like to actually just finish the a really good place to have the script, a really great series Bible, and maybe even if I have the money, I could put together a proof of concept, or maybe people are just going to like it right away and we'll just go straight to camera like in like a year. So
That's
that's kind of
amazing.
like a goal that I would like to see accomplished within this year, is
That's a
getting
really
some
fun
good
goal.
movement on that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Wow. That is a huge, huge goal. That's very exciting.
I think though that I know a lot of people in film and television, and we have that huge Netflix studio that just opened up here in Toronto. Like, and they're looking for content from like BIPOC women. So I'm just like, well, it's gonna be about a BIPOC woman, me, and, like it's gonna be written by a BIPOC woman, me, and it's gonna be a showrunner by a BIPOC woman, me. So let's just get it made.
Oh, so you want to show run you instead of like star?
Both.
Oh, good Lord, lady.
I want to start it, and well, I mean, showrun. I will probably find a writing team, and like I would want to be in some of like the writing rooms, but because it's like if you know anything about the airline industry, like I wouldn't be in everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Because like you show different groups of people and stuff like that. So I think it would, I mean, why not? It's
Why
my
not?
idea.
I mean, it happens. People do it. And honestly, because I've just been studying your chart, that lines up with who you are. Of course, you would want that.
You
But
think
let's
I
talk
take the
about
easy route? Do you think I want to
no.
do one thing at a time? Yeah,
One
right.
thing? No, that's not Chantele.
No.
Tell me about young Chantele. Were you always into your birthday, or did you used to hate a birthday, or
I kind of hated a birthday because I always had a snow. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god! I always had like a snowstorm on my birthday, so I always had to cancel my birthday.
oh my gosh.
I'm
So this
realizing you're
is
like
like
dredging up. Like,
I know. Uh-oh.
it's fine. I
She's
cry.
a rising
I cry all
Cancer,
the time.
y'all. Here
Yeah,
we go.
I used to not cry.
Uh,
Now I always cry.
well, that's interesting. I mean, I've always been such a birthday person, but that's pretty Sagittarius. But my husband, who's a Capricorn, is born 2 days after Christmas. He has some pretty serious issues with similar themes of like nobody's home at that time to have a birthday party and like doesn't have friends to invite him over and his presents are really Christmas presents kind of
Absolutely.
vibe.
I have another friend. She hates her birthday because she's on Christmas Day. She's like,
Mm.
well, I never get a birthday.
Right. That is tough. And so if you're actually used to being like, wait, it's the weather's not good, I can't see
It's either
people.
the weather wasn't good or I had exams on my birthday. Like
Mm.
there was always something. So I always had to just kind of be like okay with not celebrating it, you know?
Oh, well, I refuse to be
I
okay with
know.
not celebrating a birthday. I think birthdays are so important. It's like your personal
I
celebration.
know, but you kind of also like don't want to be like a birthday zilla, you know.
True.
And
True.
so like I mean, I think just being easygoing, you kind of just like don't want to put too much pressure on that day, especially when you're kind of used to it falling apart, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well,
I'm sorry that I'm crying so much. I did not know this was going to stem
no,
like
we
some
took a
deep
serious turn. We didn't see it
rooted
coming.
issues. Sorry. Don't mind me.
We're like
I've learned the art of
chatting.
crying pretty though, at least. So
We're just like chatting and having fun, and we went down a road we didn't know. But that's okay to cry. We love that you're comfortable with crying. I wish I knew how to cry.
that's true.
um
I probably cried for your whole year. So there you go.
all right, so were your parents around for your birthdays? Did they do anything? Did they get you a present at least? Did they?
Yeah. I mean, I always got presents. I always get pretty like extravagant presents. Like I always will get good stuff. I definitely always received really great gifts or like lots of money or stuff like that. So I always received good presents and I can always expect to receive like a good present from my family.
Did you
And
grow
so you know what? This is something about my
oh,
birthday.
yeah.
Um well, I like 99% of the time I sing happy birthday on my friends and family's birthday. And so that's something that I always will have many people sing me happy birthday. So that's something that I can expect on my birthday as well. And so like even
That's
like
fun.
see if I have my niece and nephew. They sang
Oh,
it to me in person, but my
oh,
my
yes.
mom taped them. Hold on.
Candy, have a good day.
Hold on.
Hi, Auntie Shanty. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Auntie Shanty. Happy birthday to you.
So I always get birthday songs on my birthday.
That's amazing. That's so great. I mean, music is beautiful and healing. We love that.
And it's
Uh,
something that is free that you can
it
give
is.
anytime.
Yep.
So
Honestly, nieces and nephews singing happy birthday or even just saying happy birthday, I love you is one of my new favorite things.
it's pretty good. It's
It
pretty good.
is.
I'm like, I love being called Auntie Shanty.
Yes,
So
that's so
cute.
cute. Auntie Shanty. How old are they?
They're 4.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute. I'm trying to get everybody as they come in. Thank you, everybody who's stopping
Thank you.
by. So exciting. Yeah, my niece is 4 and she'll send me, she'll sing to me. My nephew, he's a 1.5 and he's not quite
there yet.
He's like sa. That's as close as we've gotten to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Antisa.
Yeah.
Antisa.
But that melts my heart. That's amazing. That's wonderful. Okay, so when did you grow up in Montreal? I know you've been to Vancouver.
I'm Toronto.
Oh, Toronto. Sorry.
I'm born in Toronto, but I lived in Montreal for 8 years, and then I lived in
Okay.
Vancouver for 4 years, and now I've been back in Toronto for 6.5 years.
Okay, so you've been to all the major important parts of Canada, it sounds like.
Living there, yes, and I've been everywhere. I've been to every province in Canada.
And you've been to the States some, right?
Yeah, my dad lived in California growing up, Newport Beach, and now he lives in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So since I was like 6, I've been traveling to the States. My aunts all live in Florida, and so yeah, so I do have some American
Florida.
connections.
Interesting. I grew up in Florida.
I know.
I don't know how much of that I share. I'm not proud of growing up in Florida, but it's a great place to retire if that's what your aunts are doing.
Yeah. I don't think that they work at all.
And then you visited New York for the Rob Has a Podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did that last May. I've traveled quite a bit. Obviously, I'm a flight attendant. I think it's also because I'm an air sign and have that Venus in Sagittarius that makes me like traveling to far distances and being in the air. I'm actually been trying to get my British citizenship because my dad was born in London, England, but my parents were never married, and so after the age of 18, you can't assume the nationality of your father if you were born out of wedlock. So like I have to go like find a lawyer, and like I think that now I can get it to happen, but I want to do that so that I can audition for like the Traders UK or Big Brother UK, because I just feel like I will have a better shot. That's something I want to do this year. I would love to have a experience of being on a reality TV show as a contestant, as a player. I talk about every show. I've watched every show. I want to have that experience from that side of things. I think it's time.
It is absolutely time. And I really appreciate that you've auditioned for quite a few different shows, right? Like
absolutely.
What is the dream show, or how many shows do you want to, how many have you auditioned for?
So I auditioned for Big Brother Canada, of course. Season 2 was the first year that I auditioned, and like I moved pretty far into the I should send you my audition. We could probably watch it together here. It's pretty silly. And I got pretty far along, and then that was the year that like you don't know the people, but Ika Wong ended up getting on that season. So I'm like, okay, she's a legend, so fine if she, because like part of my thing was like, and you need a token Black girl in the house. And so like, okay, so she's the token Black girl in the house.
You can't say that anymore.
True. Now that they've increased the diversity quotient or quota. And then I don't know if I made it on time for the season 3. Season 4, I sent in a tape. They told me to go to an in-person, and then nothing happened. Season 5 I don't think I auditioned. Season 6 and 7, I made it decently far. I went in person. And then season 8, 9, 10, all videos, no responses. What? But like I did really well at season 2, sending in a video, and then season 6 and 7 in person. So I don't know.
I would love to see you on Big Brother. Like that's crazy. That's wild. But I'd love to see you on any show. Traders. Yes.
I don't think I could win. I can win any show, but like, I think it would be more challenging for me to win Traders because I don't think I would be good at being a trader off the bat. I would have to be like a faithful that got switched into a trader, I would think. And that would be, it might be just a little bit of a harder show to win you know,
Yeah.
but maybe I'd be setting a new precedent, a new pathway to like getting that W as a faithful. I don't know.
Oh, what about the Australian shows like Survivor or Big
Uh,
Brother or whatever? Because Canada and Australia, are you guys?
I was looking to see if I can audition for Big Brother The Amazing Race Australia, and I think you still had to be a resident of Australia. I can't remember what
Mm,
I remember being like, dang it, or maybe I had to be if I could do it if I was British or something. I can't remember what it was, but there was like a bit of a halt there.
yeah,
But I was thinking like, yeah, like come on, we're British Commonwealth, like
right.
let me in, let me play. But I think you have to be a resident or something. I'll still look into it because
Yeah.
I would love to. I've always wanted to be on the challenge, and since there's like all these global challenges or whatever, I know it's been canceled in Australia, but I don't think it'll be canceled in the UK. So it'd be cool if I could get on that way, since the US does not care for Canadians. So they make it very difficult for Canadians to do anything. Even getting an O1 visa is like very challenging. And with the O1 visa, you can't do anything. So
Hmm.
not
Well,
much.
Survivor has been letting
That's
Canadians
true.
on,
That's true.
and then they won too much, so they're probably going to stop that.
Yeah, they're gonna stop, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I would do Survivor, absolutely. I think that would be my least fun show to do. Just because of like surviving the outdoors would be just annoying. Like I don't
So
really
annoying.
complain that much. I can handle a lot of crap, but like I just don't know if I want to put myself through that. But I would.
No,
I would, but
you
I
would.
don't know if I want to, but I would.
Right, exactly. I feel you. I wouldn't, but you at least would. Yeah,
Like
Survivor
if I
would be
got
the
that opportunity,
hardest.
I would never say no.
Yeah,
Never, ever, ever, ever.
yeah. That's what I feel about most of the shows. Like the first time I was up for Big Brother Over the Top, they came to me. I did not audition for them. And so I was like, well, if you're going to present it to me, of course I will go. But then when I didn't make it on, I was like, whew, thank goodness. Do not put me on Big Brother.
I would love to see you on Big
No,
Brother.
you don't want to see it. You don't want
Really?
to see me on the live feeds. I really think
Really?
a show without live feeds is the way to go for me. And a bed and like my own private room. Like I have a lot of needs for the show for me to go
High
on.
maintenance. Who
Very.
knew? Who knew?
But I love that you are able to apply for a lot of these shows and keep applying because that honestly is a huge part of this. Most of the people we see are like, this is my fifth time applying. I will apply for something and then I'll get very angry that I didn't make it on. And then I won't apply again for like a few years until I've gotten over it. And then maybe I'll apply again, you know?
Well, I mean, I kind of been trained as a professional auditioner, so you know, I I have hundreds and hundreds of "you're not the one"
Yeah,
each
that's
year,
true.
and so I'm not attached to the outcome of these situations. Maybe a little bit BB can because I'm just like I feel as though casting is just not with my vibe,
Yeah,
and like the fact that they are doing the casting for the Canadian show, I just don't know if they know what a good Canadian is. Like, I don't know. Like, it just like I don't understand why they don't feel as though I'm compelling at all. You
right.
know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
no, we don't
that's
get
the
it at
only
all.
show that I kind of am just like, this
Annoyed
is
with, yeah, because
interesting.
you've applied so many times and like, what are they not getting about you? Because I mean, we have enjoyed the casts that they've put together,
Yeah,
but
but there's been sometimes
what
where I'm
are they
like, "Oh,
missing?
that could have been me,"
Yeah,
and that person didn't really do that well. I think I would have brought something more interesting than the me version that they put in there.
yeah.
Um, and like I was so fun fact, it was Kevin Jacobs, winner of Big Brother Canada 10's birthday on Monday. And
Yes.
on Friday, he asked me, or before Friday, so maybe Wednesday or so, if I can get him a reservation at my best friend's restaurant because they're fully booked. And so we kind of pulled some strings and figured it out. And we got them the best table in the house. And Helena actually came in for Kevin's birthday last weekend. So I did hang out with Kevin, Helena, Moose was there, Jillian was there, Jay was there, and Josh and his partner were there. And so I did spend last Friday, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday with
Mhm.
with those BB peoples. So
That
that was
is
kind of fun.
so fun.
Show you a picture too. I meant to
Yes,
post things and then I
I
just
know.
didn't remember to.
You
I'll do a
told
later grab.
Yeah, you told me that there were photos coming, and I was like, "I've not seen these
I
photos. Where
have
are
not
these
seen the
photos?"
photos, but they do exist.
But that's super fun. We love fellow Aquarius, Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
fellow strategic king.
That's me,
Oh,
Jillian, and
so
Kevin. That's
cute.
now at my friend's place. We went to
Mhm.
another place after. This is at the restaurant. You can on the end. You can kind of see everybody there.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Cute.
And did one with me and Moose. Where's Moose?
Hi. Aw.
And that's Jay, myself, Helena, and Josh.
So
Honestly,
cute.
if I was in that house, me and Josh would have been best friends. Like we were cracking each other up. Like I'm obsessed with them. I was telling him also about how my mom was like, "Oh, he's so cute," and like how my mom has like a crush on him, and I was like, "And me too." He's
Yeah,
so
right?
cute,
Oh,
and
he
he's like we
is.
really got along. We had these like inside jokes, and like it was fun. He's
That's
cute.
so cute. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. I mean, we obviously loved watching him, but I think watching y'all together, although I wouldn't want you on the same season as Kevin. He would have messed up your game.
Or we would have maybe the trio,
I
myself, him,
know.
and Helena, because like, it would still be air, fire, right?
Right, but I think you're a match to Kevin. Like
It's
Kevin
true,
ran that house, but I think you would run the house that you're in. So I would want you to be able to do that and
for
not have
sure.
another great strategic person there, you
It's
know?
true. It's true. It's true. Because I'm
Uh,
thinking of like, so I've played a lot of online Big Brother games, and I don't think I had any other Aquarius people on the seasons that I was in, and
mm,
I did kind of run the things.
run the
I
things.
mean, I won one and then I came in second the other time, and I could have come in first, but I felt I owed JoJo a win, so I brought JoJo to the end with me.
Very nice of you. Let's look at you.
Me.
Y'all, this is Chantel's birth chart here. Look at you got some really interesting aspects, Chantel. Now, we all know she's an Aquarius. Her sun is Aquarius. This is your verbal, chatty, social side. You love a group of friends. It's all
Mm-hmm.
about community mindedness for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but your moon is in Capricorn. It's a very interesting placement. The moon is in detriment in Capricorn. It
Mm-hmm.
can be a tough place for the moon to be. It's a bit guarded, very hard on yourself. I mean, that Capricorn energy loves to be judgmental on yourself, be
Mm-hmm.
so tough on yourself. And when that's connected to your emotions, like those don't mesh, you know? So it's interesting because that is opposing your ascendant in Cancer. Now, the Cancer is this emotional side that we do get to see from you. This is where you're in touch with your feelings. You're, you're always going to be Aquarius, our sun. That's who you are. But the way that you show up is your ascendant. So Chantel shows up to us, shows up to the world with this very nurturing, compassionate energy, in tune with your feelings. So the moon, even though it's in guarded Capricorn, opposing your identity, your ascendant, actually gives you a double dose of the sensitivity or the emotions or that Cancer in you. Do you feel that? Do you feel more of the Cancer instead of the guarded Capricorn?
How I think the Capricorn expresses itself in me is that I have to work to feel worthy, we'll say. And so I will always be doing something new and striving to be the best. And like I very much value being the best at a lot of things. And so in terms of my emotional side, I don't hide it or whatever, but it's kind of, it doesn't really show. It shows up in times like this, or times like I see a commercial or something, or where I can have some sort of empathy towards a situation. I'm very easily able to connect to emotional situations that I have or have not experienced. And I think that it's been helpful in my acting, because I had an acting teacher that said once, I might cry because she's passed away, but she was like my favorite acting coach, and she was amazing. I studied with her for over 10 years, and she would say, like, make sure you tell the truth about every situation, because there's someone in that audience that is living through it or has been through it, and you have to honor their truth. And so like that makes me like, I'm like, oh, I cry. But like even if I haven't experienced it, I really, for whatever reason, am very easily able to understand heart situations that I might not have personally experienced in my lifetime. So that's how I think that it might be showing up for me, is having empathy where I don't have experience in certain areas.
Right. And this being in your 7th house, well, your moon,
Well,
I do
Can
whole
I ask
house.
you one question? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. You do whole house, and so I've never looked at my moon in the 7th house.
Right.
So this will be a little bit different for me, because I look at my moon in my 6th house usually, because I've used Placidus, which will have floating signs. And so that's also what makes sense to me, is having, with 6th house being kind of like day-to-day activities and work, having my emotions being fulfilled by achieving in the workplace is kind of what feels natural to me. So I will like to hear a little bit then about how it kind of shows up in the 7th house.
Yeah, I definitely have mixed feelings. For those who don't know, there's a few different systems, that we can place these planets into our charts, and one of them mixes houses, and one of them shoves them sort of all in one house per sign. And a lot of the timing techniques that I work with, you have to put them in the whole house system. And it does make sense for looking at your year ahead. But looking at a Placidus traditionally for your natal, I also do like to look at that, because it's not an exact science. You can kind of see different areas that it might fit for you natally versus when we're talking about a year ahead. So my question would be, because this is how you approach relationships, the 7th house, not just romantic, but any one-on-one interacting, so friendships and business alike. Do you find that you have a bit of a mothering quality to you in relationships, or vice versa, where you look for a mothering quality in relationships?
Maybe look for a mothering quality, because I'm like, in my friendships or relationships, I just like, I don't want to have to do any work here. So like in simple terms, like if I go for dinner with my best friend, I'm like, you know what I like. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
definitely don't. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm like, yeah, I'll put in some input, of course, but I definitely like being taken care of. And I think I'm just you saying this out loud. I wonder if it relates to my what is it called? Acts of gifts,
Service?
acts of service, and receiving gifts are my 2 love languages. And so
Okay.
I'm wondering if that's how that's being actualized, because like I love acts of service, like being taken care of in that way. Like I feel loved when people do something for me, like in that kind of way, whether it's like come over and put up that picture frame that has been on the floor for a year, you know what I mean? Or
so are you saying do you want to do acts of service for others, or you
it's
just
actually
want
both?
Okay. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I would definitely say the identity of the ascendant directly connected to your moon on your descendant is mothering of self. So either you're putting that out there or bringing it in. And it sounds like you appreciate when someone else can bring that to the table for you.
Like my mom still like will make me like lunch or breakfast like when I go to visit. You know what I mean?
Great. Yeah.
So
I mean, I love it. All right. Also, did we talk about the rising Cancer family oriented? Like obviously your connection to your mom is going to be important to you, whether it's smooth or not, it's going to be important to you. We all have different families, dynamics. Your sun is conjunct your Mars. Good Lord, Chantele.
Don't you remember when we had the great conjunction happen? It also hit my sign for like a long time because that was Jupiter and I think it was Saturn were both in conjunction 5 degrees for like a month. I was just like, why me? Leave me alone.
This is so much energy. We were just talking about how you have so much energy the other day. And this is it. This is why you're like, energy, all caps, all the exclamation points. That's what this is for you. It makes you a fierce leader. This gives you the desire to fight, to be yourself, like fight to shine as yourself. Hugely important to you.
100%. Like my ego definitely is conjunct my drive. Like I need to do a lot of things and I feel like myself doing like I don't know, I just don't know anything different. People are like, oh, why don't you just like relax? I'm like, well, I am relaxed right now. Like my mom even said to me today, she's like, oh, you're doing so much. I'm like, I'm not actually doing anything today. What do you mean?
Right.
Like I'm usually doing 90 things, not 2. Like there's nothing going on today.
Yes. Now, also, though, interestingly, so that Mars, okay, you guys, that's up in house 8. If you can see, Mars and Sun are sitting next to each other. But then if you look across, your Jupiter is exactly opposing your Mars. This is also like, how many things can we do here? But to like the Jupiter degree. And as wonderful as Jupiter can be and so successful and expansive, the downside is the world is your oyster, is the way that you see it, whether that's true or not. So this connected to your Mars is like, you will bite off more than you can chew. You will do 114 things in 1 hour, even though that is absolutely impossible. You might have some health issues or regrets after the fact, but that's how you see your action and your activity. Yes.
I mean, 1,000,000%. Like, if we just talk about what I'm doing right now. So, obviously, I have a podcast that I've been doing by myself. I work as an actor, so it's been quiet, so it's not been too wild. But usually, I have like at least 5 auditions a week to prepare for. And since we aren't back into the studios yet, I'm editing those and doing them by myself. So I don't live with anybody. So I'm also the camera operator, editor, and actor all at once. I just got certified as a Pilates instructor. So that I was studying and training for and preparing for my exam. And I will start teaching on Sunday coming. My best friend opened up a restaurant. So I have been, when she works as an actress as well. So she goes away, I'll go and I'll manage the restaurant for her. But I also picked up a shift where I'm working for her on Sunday nights. And I still have my schedule scheduler open on, and so every week I'm like, oh shoot, someone's booking a hypnotherapy session. I'm like, okay, like let's bring that in. And then even last week I was asked to do for a women's group to do how they're all goddesses and they wanted to be related to astrology. So like I had to prepare this whole on presentation for everybody, and I'm like, bring it on, whatever.
I don't even think you mentioned that you're a flight attendant as well.
Oh, and I'm a flight attendant.
Like literally you're on planes, flying, working, and then you're like landing and like running to do a podcast or an audition or whatever. Like your schedule is insane.
Yeah, I definitely have memorized lines in flight.
It's wild, but you have the energy to do it. The only downside is like you can potentially do too much and, you know, get a little drained by it, but it's going to take so much to drain you.
I don't know what that drain would be like. I just like, well, how much, I can't really take on that much more. So like,
but I mean, like you have to have had some accidents or like something has had to have happened to you because you've had 14 things in the time span of 5 minutes. Something has had to happen, right? Have you had like accidents or
never had an accident.
Well, that's great.
I mean, I guess like I like did have like health issues that weren't directly related, but that could be just to force me to slow down, like, you know?
Right.
But I can't think, I think maybe once or twice I forgot about it, like an audition or something, maybe.
Well,
if it comes to me, I'll let you know, but I don't think so.
Well, that's only the potential downside because honestly, Jupiter opposing Mars is one of the best placements anybody can have. Competitive, but successful at any field that is competitive. Like an athlete will have this, right? A professional football player will have this placement. I do believe your sport is reality television. But yes, anytime you do these, online versions or whenever you do get to go into Big Brother Canada House or whatever show traders they put you on, you are going to be very successful at it. This is a winner placement.
Perfect. I mean, you were saying that reality TV is my sport, but I do have trophies from when I was younger in soccer and in baseball and in ballet or things that I competed in. So I've definitely received many trophies in my lifetime. And I am really competitive. There's no reason to play if you don't plan on winning.
No. Yes. And you know that. And you will only play the ones that you can win. I love that. When I saw that, I was like, holy moly, that's so you. Absolutely. Now your Venus is conjunct your Neptune. This is so interesting. So
it's also square my North Node, no?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just like thinking, I'm just noticing 18 degrees. And I was like,
absolutely.
Is that square? Anyway, sorry, continue.
Well, you mentioned earlier the Venus in Sagittarius is a love for travel, a love for adventure. But I love that this is in your 6th house, which is your daily routine jobby jobs. And you literally work as a flight attendant. That could not be
more perfect.
Sagittarius in the 6th
and like,
house. Yeah.
Don't you think the dreaming part is the fact that I'm writing a TV show about it?
Yeah. Now, the fact that they're basically on top of each other, they're separated by 1 degree. This is a very spiritual, lovey, compassionate love that you have, but can be a bit delusional. Now, we don't talk about relationships much, but do you like over idealize love? Do you fall into love easily?
I guess I would say I'm a hopeful romantic, but I actually I haven't had any love interest I don't remember the last time. It's been so long. So I'm not sure.
yeah, I would love to see you like in the beginning of a relationship, like if you just like hopeless romantic fall, but then that guarded Capricorn moon is going to be like, I don't know about you. I would imagine.
Um, let me try to think. I don't think that I'm a delusional. Maybe when I was younger. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it is in Sag, and Sagittariuses are not one to keep somebody around for long. So if there's any delusion, it would be very short lived. It would be
Maybe
like,
very sure. Yeah, well, actually, maybe there's one person like didn't live in Canada. Like he was here on a visa or whatever, and we dated for like I don't know 6 months or so before his visa ran out, and so we pretended like we were like madly in love for like 6 months, and then he went back home, and I moved to Vancouver.
and that would have
Maybe
been
that's it.
perfect for you. Yeah.
I was upset actually at the time, but now like looking back, it was probably perfect.
Adorable. Okay, let's talk about this year you have coming up. There's something that I've talked about a little bit. It's called perfecting, and it changes for us on our birthday every year. I really love it to help try to figure out timing and things in your life. You and I are roughly the same age, and so our houses move together, but your planets are different. So I just entered a ninth house year. You're now entering a ninth house year. So here we have Chantel's solar return. The inside is still her natal chart that we were just looking at, but the outside ring is where everything was this morning when your sun was exactly back to where it was when you were born. And this can help us see what you have coming up this year for you. Now, you know what ninth house energy is. It's very studious, like learning. I can't imagine you learning more, but you're going to probably want to learn more this year. I mean, you already just got certified with other
It'll
stuff.
probably be just like even more Pilates stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and probably more writing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And was there
And
something else that I
travel.
want to do? Yeah, well, I mean, I'll always be traveling. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you might be traveling even more this year, having the ninth house energy.
That's true.
But then we look at what your ninth house is, and that's Pisces. And Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. So then we next go to where Jupiter is, and your Jupiter sits in your second house. So you're having a ninth house year. You are having a Jupiter ruled year. So, as someone who is in tune to astrology and the planets, I would tell you to pay attention to Jupiter this year. Any transits Jupiter makes you will feel, you'll be a bit more sensitive to. Nothing wrong with Jupiter, the great benefic, very expansive and successful and lucky. Currently in Aries, will go into Taurus in like Aprilish, I think it is. So you'll feel that shift going into your 11th house, because it's currently in your 10th house, which ain't nothing wrong with it being in your 10th house. That's really nice. But I don't think Jupiter leaves your Taurus this year. So that's really all you have to be mindful of. That shift.
Going into Taurus. Sorry, we're in
Mhm.
Aries going into Taurus.
Yeah.
Well, give me the Monday. Yeah, I'll
Yes.
take it. I love Jupiter in Taurus energy. I want a house.
Wait.
I want a car. Want some money.
Yes. Hello. Your Jupiter natally is in your second house.
I know.
You should be rolling in money. This is so
But I think it's
wonderful.
because it's retrograde, so that I'll have a lot of money, and then sometimes it goes away, and then I'll have a lot of money,
And then
and
you
then it
spend it.
goes away. Yeah, all right, fine. Yeah, I find ways to get. I
It is
mean, I know
Leo.
words are powerful, but money just So I'm learning how to be more Taurus like with saving and financing.
Yeah. I mean, a Leo is one of our most generous signs. So your Jupiter in Leo in the second house says, yeah, you can bring in the money and then you're going to be generous with it.
I'll definitely share. I like
Yeah.
spending money.
So your ninth house themes are flavored. That's how we think of this. Is your soup is ninth house, but the seasoning is your second house and also your sixth house because Jupiter also rules Sagittarius. So these are your themes this year. All of the ninth house things that you will work on there will be a connection to the money, the finances or the possessions. Second house is also the things we have and value. And then sixth house is our daily activity. It's also health. Anytime sixth house comes up, I always want to say, be mindful of your health. Keep that in mind. But in your ninth house is your midheaven and your south node. Those are both very significant things. So this year feels significant.
Yes.
How that all comes together, we will not know quite yet, but it will come together in sort of 9-6 way. But also looking at your solar return, you've got the moon and Neptune currently in your solar return in the ninth house. And this feels, a bit more spiritual or maybe things that are connected to your emotional fulfillment can come out of this year with the moon there.
I'm wondering if it's like, I don't know, psychic stuff because like the moon and Pisces are both really, really psychic. And so
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe more education in psychic arts will be happening because that's kind of ninth housey. I have
Mhm.
been feeling called to learn a little bit more about mediumship because my grandmother was a medium. And so
Mhm.
a lot of people ask me for mediumship readings. I'm like, well, I'm not a medium. And I've had some mediumship experiences, but I don't consider myself a medium. And so I'm wondering if maybe that could be the learning that could happen this year.
Yeah, this would definitely be the year to learn it and then to connect it to how people see you with that midheaven, which is your career, but also your public standing, right? The way that people see you. So yeah, studying and learning more in any of those spiritual fields because you like a lot of them, and figuring out how to make the money with it because people will see you, like you said, they're like, hey, will you do mediumship? This is them reaching out to you. And then with the south node is also like switching to a spiritual mindset. It's sort of letting go of things in your life and seeing the world spiritually. So I do feel like that area of your life is going to be coming up with possibilities for you this year.
Which is great. Ideally, I would love to just win one of these shows,
Yeah.
and then I could just, you know, buy the house and a car, or I guess it wouldn't have
Mhm.
most likely make that much money, but like put some foundations down and then get rid of flying and then really just work on my channels because I have this channel, and then I also have one that's a little more spiritual that I don't really put anything into. So I'd love to get like a social media manager and all that stuff to like deal with those two things, and then just focus on my TV series and then actually and other stuff too. But you get what I'm saying. I want to be able to get rid of flying to free up that time, but also still have that income coming in as a foundation. So that would be
Mhm.
ideal though, to be able to make some additional money out, however, so that I wouldn't have to fly anymore.
Right. I think that that's going to come to you. I mean, the sixth house, your daily stuff in the Sagittarius vibe does scream flying. But having it connected to all of this spiritual stuff feels like
My
a shift.
TV show is about flying though still. So it's not to say that flying won't still happen. Just saying.
Right. But all of this like spiritual shift that's happening feels like it
Mm,
would take over.
right.
Um,
Flying. Flying
yeah.
thing. Day-to-day flying.
Yeah, getting money and resources through all of that stuff. But I say you do you, because doors are going to open. Whatever you're studying is going to come to you in this very expansive Jupiter ruled year. So
I'm in.
yes, write the
I've been to it.
script.
I mean, I have to say, like, the more that I learn, the more that people do come to me for things. Like, I
Mhm.
do get very surprised, like, oh, like someone like I don't know you, but you've literally just purchased a session with me
Yeah.
from like the Instagram account that I never use. Like, I'm just like amazing. But it's people are still find me and are interested in having sessions. So I can see that growing for sure. For sure.
The time period that's going to be significant for you, I'll have to find the exact date and I'll message you about it, but it's going to be in June, like late June through July. Is going to be a significant time for you this year. So we're going to write that down. I'm going to get the exact dates, and then we're going to pay attention to what happens during that month because it will be important to you and your further journey.
How do you find that out? Like, what were you looking at for that?
So here, let me pull this back up. So when we talk about perfected years and we figure out what's called your time lord, that's Jupiter. So then we go, and when we find what house Jupiter lives in, we then count down to what time period that is in your year. I'm describing this very broadly, but if you study it, it obviously takes a long time to understand it. But anyway, broad strokes are when we count down to when you are going to hit that time in the year where Jupiter is. We start in the 9th house. Again, it takes a lot of studying this, but so this is a hard description. Right now, late January to late February is 9th house. So then late February to late March, 10th house, and go on, month by month, house by house.
So we get to the second house? Is that where we're landing?
Yes, and we're
Gotcha.
heading to the second, but we're starting 9th right now where we are.
And so for the time, you're looking for when it's going to exact at 5 degrees, basically, or
So-
3 degrees, whatever.
No, but we're going to go by the sun. So it's going to be exact 5 degrees of what? So we're in Aquarius, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever season that is, 5 from now. I can't do basic math.
May? What do you mean? Is that what you mean?
So
February,
9th
March, April.
house, and then
Yeah.
we count to the second. But we're
Okay.
starting with Aquarius. So then we say,
Oh.
la, 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 right?
Okay.
So whatever season that is. Okay, wait a minute. Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, right? Did I do that right? Okay, so when the sun is 5 degrees Gemini, that's when we're entering that.
Cool.
Oh, I am
Understand
not a
now.
teacher, guys. I am not a teacher.
No, but no, now I understand what you're talking about,
Yes.
and I get it 100%.
Okay. So, and then until it's 5 degrees Cancer out of Gemini, that month will be significant for you.
Got it.
Got it. I should have looked up the dates ahead of time,
That's okay.
but I will figure that out for you.
That's okay.
Because we'll want to keep an eye on you.
Seriously, I love having a Jupiter be my year, the year of Jupiter. Yes, expansive energy.
Yeah,
That's all
because
I
you
want.
just came out of 2 back-to-back years ruled by Saturn.
Yeah, it was terrible. I hated these last. It was like, well, I don't mind working hard, but like I just never saw any light at the end of the tunnel. It was just all just like, okay,
yeah, because
like
Saturn is about delays instead of like it coming together, right? So Jupiter should feel so much better.
I mean, I feel better already just even knowing that. I was like,
Yay.
yes, give me expansion. Give me ease.
Also, do you know much about progressed charts or progressed lunar phases?
I feel like I've only dabbled lightly, but nowhere near as the understanding as I think you do.
Okay, well, we'll just quickly just touch on your progress. This is another supplemental chart that I look at when we're talking about timing and things coming up. And if you watched my video with James, I explained the lunar phase that we go through with our progress chart. When we start a new moon phase, it's a 30-year cycle, but we're kind of starting over, a little fresh, a little new. And you're actually in a gibbous phase, which means you have come out of your new moon phase. Your moon is building and growing, and you're close to a full moon. You've got just a few more years. What did I write down? You'll be at a full moon in February of 2026.
I think
So
that's the type of moon that I had when I was born as well, I think. I think so.
yeah, pretty close. Yeah. Well,
It's right.
no. You're a balsamic.
Oh, yeah, it's
Your
balsamic. It
moon.
is balsamic. It is balsamic.
Mhm.
What's the
You
other
were
name for balsamic?
a dark moon?
Oh,
I don't know.
there's another. It sounds like gibbous or something like
Oh,
that. But anyways, sorry, I'm wrong.
yeah. So you were born coming into a new moon, and you are currently coming into a full moon. And that just shows that whatever you started on at this cycle about 8 to 10 years ago, you would have started this new moon cycle. I don't know if there was a switch into more spiritual or a switch into more reality about 8 to 10 years ago, or more acting, less acting. I don't know if you saw
More
a
spirit,
shift.
probably both actually. More spiritual. I think I started listening to Rob's podcast at that time. I was living in Vancouver, and so I found it terribly boring over there. So I did a law of attraction life coaching program at around that time. And I was going to like angel evenings at that time. So I was learning about angels. I was learning about how to be more like connected to the angels and reading angel cards. I was taking intuition classes with, I forget her name right now, Cheryl Lee Hamish, I think her name is. I was being a volunteer at a hypnotherapy school. So that was all happening in 2014, 2013, 2012.
It's always interesting to just kind of see like, oh yeah, I kind of maybe gave up a few other things in my life. Maybe it's the move, you decided you don't like that, and you start to just like bring new stuff into your life a little bit, even if they're very close to what you've already been doing, but like a little bit different, adjacent type
It was
things you're learning.
2011 though, is when I moved to Vancouver, and that was to have a completely new shift.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and see
Look at the
exactly
dates.
when you were at, yeah, when you were at a new moon. Um, but now that you're like heading into like the full moon in 3 years is like the most light that you're gonna have, the most information, the most awareness of what's going on around you. It's not necessarily success or ease because it's also considered an opposition, right? The sun and the moon. But wait a minute. Now I'm questioning everything I'm doing. Yeah, no. Okay, great. It's also because it's considered an opposition, there might be choices. You know, you might have to be like, actually, this isn't working. I need to go this way. But it's all of the information available to you. So you're in a really interesting time here. This is like a growing, finding your way, getting things done, general part of your life, and it's going to last another 10 years. Like you got a lot of good years ahead of you.
Thank goodness.
Right? That would be horrible if I was telling you something differently. But I like to just throw that in there to just kind of see if you are wrapping things up, starting new stuff, but you're kind of in the good old space of finding your way and, choosing your things.
So can we look and see? Because like
Mm,
my life's always I guess because I have so much like Capricorn energy,
yeah.
it's always about work, work, work. And
Hmm.
so in my regular like when I use Placidus, my seventh house is empty. It only has Saturn in there. And then I did have transiting Saturn in my seventh house for like, I don't know, 8 years or 10 years. And so when is it gonna have some expansive loving energy so I can be in a committed relationship, so I can be
Mm.
when that full moon happens, that I have somebody to um be creating some new expansive energy with.
Oh, you're asking romantic relationship questions. I love this. Okay, back up though first. Were you talking natally? Your Saturn is not in your seventh house. What are
Well,
you
it's
talking about?
Capricorn. Doesn't Capricorn rule my when it's Placidus? Capricorn's on my seventh house cusp.
It is, but your Saturn is in your third house in Virgo.
So I thought that Saturn would be the ruler of the seventh house because it's what Capricorn
Oh,
is.
sure, sure. Saturn rules your
Anyways, I have no
seventh.
planets
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay.
So the only planet that I have in there is the house ruler, which would be Saturn. But yes, it is my
I
third
hear
house
you.
in Virgo. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Saturn or Capricorn, either way you're looking at it, your approach towards relationships, romantic and otherwise, one-on-one relating is very down to business. It's not romantic, even though you have these romantic ideals, right? But when it really comes to working with a partner in some way, it's all work. It's an interesting blend that you have. uh, you when you relate romantically, you probably don't share all of your feelings or give them all of the chances or benefits of the doubt. It's kind of like, uh-oh, you've made me mad. This isn't working perfectly, and I just no longer have time for you energy that you bring to a
Yeah.
relationship.
If it's like a flaky thing, like I just can't deal at all.
You're like,
Friendships,
well, but if they are a great
relationships,
person,
workships.
obviously. Yeah.
It just no the flake though. The
Oh, yeah.
flake is like it's infuriating. So
It's infuriating. I hear you. Well, interestingly enough, you had because you had two Saturn ruled years the last 2 years, those are connected to your seventh house. So the relationships, I'm saying the last 2 years were important for relationships, but no romantic sparks came out of those. So let's
say that again.
see.
Sorry, so everybody's like still calling me. I'm like, because I'm
Oh,
alive. Leave me alone.
we're talking charts. Leave her alone.
Well,
Oh,
it's
it's
like
your
one person that
birthday.
I didn't realize I didn't say that, like, hey, it's a snowstorm. We're not going out. They're like, I'm on my way. I'm like, oh shit.
No, tell them not to.
Oops, daisy.
No, you text them and then I will explain what I'm trying to say. Oh, yes. Give Chantele some Marvin energy.
I
Well,
mean,
he's only on the casting side.
oh
He's the
right,
most
like it's being cast on every
castable
show.
person. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be casting Marvin. You know what I mean, though, which is interesting. Like he's obviously he's very energetic. He's very attractive. He's very outgoing. He's that oxymoron of like being very handsome but also quite smart. But like, I don't find him that compelling, right? You know what I mean? Like I was
Right.
like, he's okay. Like I don't think he was like the star of the circle this year. And so the fact that he was like everybody was like, "Oh my god, Marvin." Like,
Mhm.
really? Like he's great, but like I just feel like there's more people that I would find to be a little more interesting
I
personally.
thought it was great television. I mean, I was so happy when he got kicked out of the circle because he just was not strategic, and I don't want to continue to watch that. But his naivete was very entertaining. I mean, he was so clueless.
Okay. Yes,
So
he
that
was.
does entertain me to a point. But then, yeah, evict him if he's in Big Brother or vote him out or whatever. Like
Yeah, he would.
he's,
I mean, I wouldn't be working with him on Big Brother. You know what I mean? He would be
oh,
someone
yeah.
that'd be like, "Sorry, bud, you got to go."
I don't know. I might pull him in as like a loyal
But he might be
person to
someone that
listen to me.
that he might let the cat out of the bag. You know what I mean?
That's so
Like
true.
I wouldn't know if I could trust him with like what was actually going on.
Oh yeah,
You know?
because he'll mess up and not even realize he messed up.
Or like he will like nominate me and be like, "Oh, I didn't understand the rules." Like, and you're just like, "Ah!" You know.
Right?
So yeah, I just don't know if I would be able to work with someone like him. But anyways, I want that Marvin energy where all eyes are on me. So do you see? Okay, I know I was asking you about relationships, but maybe as we're still talking, like,
Yeah.
do you see a good time for potentially being successful on one of these damn shows?
Yeah. So without running a bunch of charts and getting very specific, just big picture, next year does look pretty decent because you're moving into a 10th house year, which is ruled by Mars. Now, Mars can be troublesome, but with all of your energy, you're just going to feel more energetic and feel like, yeah, let's get some stuff done. And your 10th house connects with your 5th house and your 8th house. So having a 10th house, 5th house connection, that screams reality show. That screams playing a game to me. And planetarily, I'd have to double check on your solar return for next birthday. But that might be the more successful year for reality shows. And then relationship wise, what I was trying to say is the last 2 years did connect to your 7th house. I would be interested to see like who I think we became friends in the last 2 years. So I might fall into that. But the next time that there's another significant connection to your 7th house is when you shift into a 1st house. So that is
A long time from now.
48. It's a few more years. Then you will have a year ruled by the moon that sits in your 7th house. And you'll have very strong energy for that. Let's see. But you do have a Venus year in 2 years. So next year's a Mars, and then after that's a Venus year. So even that's an 11th house year. So that could be a relationship coming out of a friendship, coming out of a community vibe, but having more of a romantic thing. And also, you know what? Because the 6th house is part of your seasoning this year, your Venus does sit there. I'm not going to say it's out of the realm of possibility that you meet someone this year. I'm going to throw that in there as well.
Oak Stokes.
Okay, so that wasn't super clear, but maybe this year, maybe in 2 years,
Maybe
more than likely 4 years.
Or 4 years, whatever it was.
Ugh.
Maybe it's
sure
like maybe it's the contract as like the marriage contract in 4 years. Maybe it's
Right.
the meeting. Maybe it's the
Right.
deepening of a relationship in 2 and then the solidifying it in 4. We'll say that.
That would make a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, meeting this year. Yeah, becoming more significant. That would make sense. I'm sure there is a technique that I haven't learned yet that would be like, you're falling in love this year. Absolutely.
And so it says it's in the 6th house, my Venus. Would that mean that I have to like meet them at work, which means
well, but it's
which job do I
Sagittarius.
keep? That's true.
So it could be any of your jobs. Yeah. All of your adventure seeking things that you do. Or even if you are at the hospital, you can meet them if you are at a doctor's appointment. You can
Fair,
meet
but the only thing is like you have to wear masks in the hospitals, so like you can't see anybody's face.
Be like, how beautiful are my eyes?
I'm wearing like false lashes every time I go into the hospital.
Yes. Actually, look really good every time you go to a doctor's appointment. Every time you go on a flight and do sessions. Yeah.
Flights, I mean, maybe, but generally speaking, the airline that I work for is like charters down south. So it's usually like families. Yeah, it's never usually like, or like sometimes it is bachelor parties, but they're all tend to be quite young. But I guess we won't completely rule it out, but there's only been 2 people that I know that work at the airline that have met anybody through while working.
Sue, that's a very lovely statement. Love will come when you're doing something you're passionate about. I will also say love will come when you're doing adventurous things, right? Being Sagittarius, when you are speaking your truth and living adventurously, love will come for you. That's true.
Yeah, I say this to people as well, but it hasn't seemed to be true for me in this lifetime.
Just not yet. Just not yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever.
So far.
I mean, you got that Neptune right there. What aren't we seeing? That's my question. What aren't we seeing? Is it someone right in front of you that you aren't seeing?
There's nobody in front of me.
Except for me.
You. I mean, I wish. I'm like really trying to think of like, there hasn't even been somebody I've been like, ooh, they're cute. Like in like a decade, like, I don't know, a long time.
Well, we got to fix that. You got to at least find people cute.
I used to be like the kissing bandit. Like, I used to like be so fun. Like,
well, you're still very fun.
Hello. Where are you guys?
All right. Well, we're all going to keep our eyes out for someone for Chantele. I need to look at your chart and find out actually what's the good mix here. You'd love a fire sign.
Well, this is my idea of a good mix. I think I've always really had a crush on Libras. I usually find them
You have said that before.
Good looking, and I find them to be funny for whatever reason. I love that they like nice things, so they're gonna like going out for dinner, and they're gonna like dressing nicely, you know, like just like, you know, ruled by Venus and all that stuff. And then I want them to have something significant in. So maybe actually backwards. So maybe I want them to be Sun in Sagittarius, and maybe their Venus is in Libra, which would match, I think, quite well with my Venus in Sag and then my Sun in Aquarius.
Yeah.
Kind of feeling that. Somebody was saying to me like, oh, they're gonna have some water in there because you're gonna want someone to be like intuitive. I'm like, I don't know.
No.
I don't know about that.
I don't think you need water necessarily.
You're like coming from you.
I'm like, no water. No. I mean, you have water in you predominantly. So if someone had a little bit of water in them, but yeah, not necessarily their sun sign. It could just
could never. I don't think I could ever.
Yeah.
I love all signs. But I've found romantically that water signs,
that's just going to combat with your Capricorn moon and your Venus and Sagittarius are just not really going to have the patience for a water sign.
They're so clingy for me. Like, they're like, I don't want you to be mopey. I don't want you to be clingy. I don't want you to be obsessive, possessive.
No,
like all of that is so annoying.
Yeah. I mean, Aquarius of all signs is fairly detached, like stop smothering me. Capricorn is like stop smothering me, and Sagittarius is stop smothering me. Like you have so much stop smothering me energy that you need fire energy and air energy.
But I'm just, you said fire and air, I'm just like, I already was like, oh, this seems lovely. I'll take any fire, any air. You're good. Maybe not Aries. Aries might be a little bit too, Aries. But
that might be too much for all of your Mars energy. Like you can't have someone competing with you. You need their fire to like work with your fire. So I would say Sagittarius or Leo. Your Jupiter in Leo is a decent place for that. I remember Taylor's Jupiter was in Leo.
Right, because we were talking about, was there Jupiter in Sagittarius?
I thought it was Leo.
So the 5th house, Jupiter. The only reason why I'm saying Sagittarius is because we were describing, it might have been Leo though, but I think it was Sagittarius.
Oh, you're right, because Joseph
was like not her.
right.
Yeah. I think it
Okay.
was Jupiter, Sag, 5th house, I think is what it was.
Yeah. Good memory. Good memory. Yeah. No, a Sagittarius for sure you would love.
I mean, they're fun.
They
They're
are.
fun and they'll do
We
things with
are.
me.
Yeah.
I love doing stuff. I love people that say yes to things, and Sagittarius people say yes to things.
They do, and they have the energy to keep up with you. Like they're pretty
Yes.
go-go as well, and they'd be up for the adventure. And if they paired it up with maybe a Mercury in Libra or something like that, that might entertain you. I don't see there's not a ton of stuff screaming in your chart that you want Libra, except that it does rule your 4th house. So maybe just having a Libra at home would feel good to you.
I guess it's like all the people that I've really had crushes on, or I liked, or I dated, they've all been Libras. And so maybe I just like, I haven't met that many Sagittariuses, we'll say, that I've had that kind of connection with. So maybe that's why I'm not necessarily thinking of them at the forefront as a potential, but definitely not ruling it out because I love fire energy and I love Sages. So.
All right, everybody, you're on a mission. Find some Sagittarius that might be a rising Libra or Mercury in Libra. Well, let's see. They wouldn't be a Mercury in Libra, but
Not possible.
They could be a Venus in Libra.
I'll take Venus in Libra.
Or Mars in Libra.
I could even take Moon in Libra, I think.
Yeah. My husband's a Moon in Libra.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Is he kind of like romantic things? Just curious.
He's a Capricorn, so I think it dampens the romance, which is great because I hate romantic things. But he does really value a partner, and he can't make a decision, so he lets me make all the decisions. So works out perfectly.
Yeah, I can make decisions for people. That's fine.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He's like, let's talk it out. And I'm like, I'll just make a decision. And then he's like, okay, whatever.
I mean, I can talk things out too, but I can also just be like, I don't want to talk this out for forever, so let's just decide. Let's go.
Yeah, right. An Aquarian would love to talk to a Libra all day. Have great intellectual conversations.
I love chatting. Chatting and laughing.
Well, yay. Chantele, this has been so fun. I'm so sorry that you don't get to go out in the snowstorm. Is there anything else that we should look at or discuss?
But I never remember. I'm not used to getting readings done. Someone was like, I don't know. Tell me more. I don't know. Let's think.
Well, while you're just talking and thinking, I'm just going to pull out. Let's just pull out a couple cards for you.
Okay, pull out a couple cards for me. So you said you're going to find, okay, so you said the exact date was going to be June and July, and that was for when I'm going to be most lucky? I forget what that was for.
No, it's just when things kind of significantly, whatever the sort of the lessons that we learn in every year, the things that come to us that we sort of have to work on, something will happen in that month that will be significant for you, or maybe things will click for you, opportunities might show up, just that kind of energy in that month.
Does it say which day I'm going to win the lottery?
No. It's not an 8th house year, so I don't see any lottery for you. We just came out of an 8th house year.
I wouldn't win lotteries.
I didn't win the lottery either. But I did. Someone gave me a brand new computer, so I appreciate that. I'll take what I can.
Brand new?
Well, it was like a year old, but yeah. I know. They were like, oh, my software doesn't work on this. And I was like, I will take your computer. Thank you so much.
So amazing.
Chantele, I'm getting your energy into the cards. Gonna ask the cards.
I want to ask a question. Wait, Chat, do you have a question that I should ask? Like, I can't think of anything.
Well, chat, what do you guys want to know from Chantele? Let's ask. What do we want to know about Chantele? But I'm just going to ask some energy for the year. Just kind of see what we have coming up for Chantele this year. And then we can ask, is the romance coming this year? All right,
I mean, the
so
more money I make, the more that I'll end up going out and the more that I'll end up being around people, right?
right.
So, like, literally, though, these last 2 years, I've been at home so much, and it hasn't been really my normal self. And so it's
Right.
only been in the last, like, since like August when I started working at the restaurant that I've been like actually like doing things again. And so me building up my money again, because like basically I depleted all my savings in the beginning of COVID, not realizing it was going to go on for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And so like I guess it's also probably why I don't feel like myself, is because like I've never really been like not have money, you know what I mean? Like or like paycheck to pay, like yes, paycheck to paycheck in the sense that like I worked at bars and like I'll spend $100, $200 here and I'll make it back again tomorrow. Like in that kind of like I always had money flowing through me, but then these last 2.5 years have been very, very tight. And so I haven't really been used to that energy. And so I'm very happy to be out of it. One of the reasons why I'm working so many jobs is like, I just need to have a big fat bank account as soon as possible. Just give me the money so then I can still start doing more things. I can go on more vacations. I can go out for dinner more. I can go to the theater more. I can go and just do the stuff that I enjoy that I really haven't been doing staying at home for the last 2.5 years. So
yeah.
That's also, I would say, one of the reasons why I haven't really met anybody in the last little while is because I really have been at home.
You haven't been out and about as much. Yeah. Well, you know, just the fact that you're moving into a Jupiter year out of Saturn, and Saturn's been sitting in he's been in Aquarius for like 2.5 to 3 years. He's about to move in March into Pisces. That's got to feel good. Like that's got to feel better. And you've got Jupiter in the second house coming up this year. So I feel like a little bit of money should be trickling in here.
A lot.
All righty. I'm going to just pull 3 cards for your year here. Oh boy. Regretting it all. Regretting this.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Well, you just got 3 major arcana cards. Starting with the devil.
Okay. That's manifestation. You know, that's things in the material world. That's Capricorn energy.
Then getting your justice from all that excess that the devil gave you. And then the strength.
Finding the strength within. Okay.
Yeah. I always like to think of the strength card as like knowing when to scrub and knowing when to soak the pan, right? You getting justice, I love to see. You getting your just desserts would be amazing. And then you knowing how to handle it is really lovely. I mean, 3 major arcana cards, my goodness.
I mean, definitely I'd rather have 3 major arcana cards than 3 swords. So like it definitely shows that like it's going to be a big year. You're kind of mentioning that it's going to be major transformation potentially, like just like it's going to be a major year. And so when I look at the devil, as I said, it's materialism, it's building things in the material world. And I did say like I would love to have a house or a car or put towards that. And so if that is something that I'll be able to acquire or accrue this year, like that's awesome. And justice could also even mean contracts, right? So signing contracts, signing a car deed or house deed or whatever these terminologies that I don't really know much about. It could be that. It could be signing a contract on one of these shows that allows me to potentially get some of these material world possessions. And then the strength within, I mean, I think it's kind of saying showing who I am is going to allow me to get all those things. So being authentically myself and like showing my heart and having the strength within to kind of persevere. So
yeah, I love the reading you just gave yourself. That was great.
I was just reading the cards.
That's right. I mean, whatever the justice is, like you said, it could be contracts. It could be finally getting cast on something, or finally getting the script sold, or, you finally getting that thing, and then having the strength to see
Follow
it through,
through.
whether
Mhm.
that is on a show or, on a scripted show, either type of show, or, you just got certified in Pilates. If it's some big Pilates opportunity, you have the ability to see it through if you're leading the workshops or whatever. But being the major arcana really does seem significant. Like you said, this is going to be an interesting transformational year for you.
I do love having that devil card. That's a success, like in the material world,
Hey.
Hey.
All right. How does your romantic love life look?
Oh boy. Then all the swords come out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm optimistic. I'm just teasing.
Look, if you got a King of Swords, you'd love it. It's a Libra. Ooh, all right. Well, start with the Strength card again.
Oh, okay.
So interesting that either you got to have the strength for this relationship, or this person comes out of that opportunity
I
that
feel
we
like
were
that
just.
makes sense, because I'll tell you like a little secret is that I had a dream or a vision. I can't remember if it was a dream or vision. I think it was a dream that like ended up becoming a vision, where I was on a reality show and another person on this reality show was my person that I met them on the
Oh,
show. And so
and
I've
you have
always sorry, say again.
so you have had a dream or a vibe, a feeling that you will meet a person on a reality show.
Yeah, while
Okay,
we're both contestants on it. I don't feel like
that's
this person
valuable information.
was a like and on the production side of things. Like I felt that this person was
The
in the cast.
contestant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I've always had really wild things that have happened in my life. Like you've seen you've seen two of them in the last year, where one being that Kevin lived downstairs from me and having that ambush, and then even going to the same hypnotherapy school as Brittany and communicating with her before I graduated and left the school. So those are just two wild things, but I always have wild coincidences in my life. I'm always like out of every like I'd be at a Janet Jackson concert in Las Vegas where there's 50,000 people, and I'd bump into somebody that I went to school with like years before that I hadn't seen in forever. So like
Mhm.
I'm always have those really interesting synchronicities. And
Yeah.
so I've always felt as though my story of meeting my person would be one of those really synchronistic opportunities, or like just like
Yeah.
wild, like it just has to be an insane story. Like I just like people are just like, well, go online or just get on Tinder, and I'm like, I just don't know if that story is good enough for me to be
Mm.
honest. So I've kind of had the feeling that it would be another person on a reality show that would be like, oh, this is trouble. Which is
Wow,
fun.
that's really good to know. Now we're all going to be watching for that. The next card you have here is Death,
More transformation. Oh my gosh.
but we are ending here with the Two of Cups.
Whoa.
Yes, this question was specifically about your romantic love life this year, and to see this combination really says to me that yeah, he is showing up, he is coming, but there is a bit of letting go
Of who I
and
was or am, and yeah.
of something, because we also had some letting go coming up in your year here astrologically. Yeah, now I really want to kind of know, like, is there something you're holding on to? Is there something you're doing that's a bit of a block for relationships, because we need to end that
Can you
chapter?
pull the card for that? Because like it's something that I don't know, or not I'm not consciously aware of.
Yeah.
If it says like too much work, I'll be like, shut up.
Five of Cups.
So that's also a letting go kind of card.
You need to let go of letting go. No. What is the block or challenge of a Five of Cups? Is there a saturatedness and overwhelmingness of the Five of Cups? Something emotionally.
I have no idea. Five of Cups. It's like there's 2 cups and then 3 cups that are spilled over, right? Usually.
Yeah.
So 2 cups are full. So maybe filling up my cups. So maybe that's also, well, 5s are conflict.
Right. And change.
Maybe it's focusing on filling up those other 3 cups that have been knocked over. So being able to show up more authentically as me. Okay, let's see if I can I clarify this 5 of Cups that Sarah pulled for me? Clarify this 5 of Cups around my love life and relationships. New card wants to jump out. Oh, okay. Oh, fuck.
Ah!
Okay, what card is an oh fuck?
Well, a lot of things. Tower.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I mean, a tower and a death are similar in the fact of like we are literally starting over. This is a brand new chapter. Things really do have to change. You have to end and have a rebirth.
Well, and after the Tower, isn't it me? Isn't it the Star card?
Yeah.
So maybe these last 2 years has been a Tower moment for me. Thank you. And now I just have to allow the dust to settle in order for me to see the light at the end of the tunnel and have hope and faith.
Yeah. Do you have any well, I mean, we all have regrets and disappointment, but regrets and disappointments is something that comes to me with the Five of Cups. So whatever, if you kind of sit and meditate about your regrets in life, your disappointments in life, see what comes to you and see if there is anything there that kind of needs to be released. Or sort of dealt with.
If I say it, like, if I think about it even just right now, the first thing that I would think in terms of relationships would be that I didn't get married or and all that sooner. I always just thought I would be married by now. I just never thought that I'd be having this type of life experience where now if I wanted to have a child, it could be problematic, right?
Right.
And so I feel like I've wasted some time.
Right. So you're holding on to that. It's too late. Like, why not earlier? Missed opportunity type energy that might be like sitting within you, holding you back. Maybe that's why you're not finding people attractive anymore, because you're just like, meh, like boo on people. Yeah, I mean, that's valid and, definitely something you'd want to shake off and release, because deep down, that, there's a timing that's bigger than us that we don't get to dictate. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work in our timing, and that you can make anything happen. So, you can be mid to late 40s and have children. It's fine. You can adopt and when you're 60, like, no, is it ideal? But you could do it if you wanted to. So let's not hang on to any of that.
I definitely don't think that on like a regular basis, but when you just ask that right now, I think the time's a waste and
right.
Kind of
I mean, those are the kind of deep down stuff that we hold on to and no, we don't think about it every single day, but that is a bit of a self-sabotage thing that when we have these deep down feelings that we don't really necessarily realize. So that's just maybe one possibility for you to consider. But whatever it is, has this coming out of it. So
and the Tower.
we definitely love to see that the result is a relationship.
I mean, I can see that. I think that within the transformation, because I am doing things differently. So even with having, um, doing teaching Pilates on Sundays and, working at the restaurant is different than I've done ever before. Like I've never been in the Pilates community in this capacity. So I am going to be a transformed person. I'm going to be interacting with people that I've never met before. And so I do feel as though that could be part of my transformation as well, as that I'm learning new skills and I'm doing things differently. So
Yeah. I just want to say that the Three of Cups has fallen out
celebration.
as we're talking about
Coming to
this.
my wedding?
It's literally also a baby. So yes, either way, you are either having a baby at some point or maybe meeting this person on a reality show and you guys have some great creations together and do other shows together. That's also possibilities that are popping out here to us.
I'll take it. I'm
As
fine
we're
with
talking
this.
about the future. Yay! Oh, I'm very excited that a Two of Cups showed up. That gives us something fun to look forward to.
Yeah, you can be like, do you remember when I pulled those cards? Yeah, you'll be at my wedding and being like, and you pull up the clip of.
Yeah, this is literally going to live on the internet, and people are going to be like, pulling this up. But hopefully, it's all good stuff that we're like, yeah, remember when? And here's
all good stuff.
Wedding. Yay!
For sure.
Well, I wish that I could be there to celebrate with you, stuck in a snowstorm. That would be fun.
Not great. I mean, yeah, stuck in the storm. We could just like play games.
If we had the proper provisions, it'd be very fun.
Yes. I mean, you can't tell it's snowing right now outside, but like when I go to the door, it's probably like this much snow.
I love that much snow for like a day.
Yeah. And then
I'm done. I can't live in that. I can't live in that at all. Well, I hope that everyone in the chat is excited for your year ahead. I hope you're excited for your year ahead. I know that you and I will be doing videos still this year together, even though you will probably have other opportunities coming up as well. So we'll all be watching you in all that you do.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. It was nice to have the attention on me, for my birthday, looking at my next year ahead. It's we don't usually get that much attention on us as readers. So I really appreciate having the spotlight for a moment. So thank you so much for asking me.
You deserve all of the spotlight on your day. It is National Chantele Day, International Chantele Day.
Yay! Thank you.
The word. All right. Well, I don't know what you're going to end up doing tonight, but I hope that it's amazing.
It'll most likely be watching the challenge and doing a recap, but that's still great.
That is great. Now, Survivor Australia is starting next week, so you and I have to come up with a schedule and figure that out, put it on top of the list of 1,000 things that you do.
But things are better now, more streamlined, because before I had to fit in so many practices for Pilates and stuff like that. But now that that's out of the way and the stress of like the exam is out of the way, like it actually freed up some time for me. And now I already have my schedule for February, and I'm only flying like 5 times. So like it's great. So
yay.
It'll be perfectly fine.
We will announce our schedule when we figure that out. You've got challenge stuff going on right now. Are there other shows that you're recapping right now?
I've done episode 1 of Love Island UK. So I haven't been doing it as a live. I've been actually literally watching it and recording myself watching it and then just cutting clips. And so it's taking me a little while because it's like a new kind of format. And I'm behind. I think they're on like day 10. I'm on like day 2. So I'm catching up with that, but I would like to try to get one of those videos out every day. If people care to watch them, I don't know. We'll see. But the season's kind of good so far. I'm liking it. And then, doing the challenge Wednesday evenings, usually right after the episode airs. And then Fridays with Drew at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's it right now, I think.
Yay. I have an interview with Shuby coming up from this season of The Circle. Got
Are
to
you
talk
doing
about
his chart? He
no,
probably doesn't
not
believe in
doing
it.
his chart. Just talking about The Circle because what an interesting experience
He
that was
had
for him.
like I was so rooting for him to be able to get that revolution together.
Yes,
But what I was thinking, you could probably ask him this, is that he probably only had one conversation that in that day that he would be able to get everybody together. Like he probably didn't have the time to have one-on-ones with everybody and get them on the same page and then get everybody together in a group. Like I still think he had the conversation, was able to have the conversations. And so he's like, okay, I'll just have one group chat and I'll just like try to inspire everybody together. But he hadn't built any rapport with anybody. And so if I were in the circle, I would have been like, yeah, let's do it. I
right.
want these originals to win this like super easily. Like,
Yeah.
yes, let's do it. Like I would have 100% gone with him.
Yeah, no,
have
I
been
actually
like,
have already spoken with him. It's recorded and I'll post it tomorrow. But I said the same thing. I was like, I would have been like, yes, we ride at dawn. I'm ready. Let's go. It just was unfortunate that no one else strategically understood how important
nobody
that
was
shift would have
strategic on
been.
this season.
There was a lack of strategy happening. I mean, honestly, Tamira came in with such a strong strategy, but then was only locked into
She
what
did
she
not
planned
play
ahead of
well.
time. And yeah, and could not shift and see
Well,
that like this was the only way she could have possibly won
but
at
like
all.
then to be coming at Jen and like not wanting to like let bygones be bygones, like what,
Oh,
how is it
bad.
going to
How was that gonna work?
benefit you?
Yeah.
Like even if you don't want to be friends with her, suck it up and get her to at least be voting you high in the rankings. You know what I mean? Like I didn't
Right?
understand her gameplay at all. And I was like,
I
I
didn't
wanted her to
either.
leave many times.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. And when at the end she was
Oh, I guess
surprised
you
she
finally
didn't.
watched it.
Yeah, I finally watched it. She was surprised she didn't win, and I was like, "How are you so confused on how this game works? Like, there was no way she could have won if you're
There was no way
sticking."
that anybody but the top 3 people could have won.
Yep, and that was clear. And anyone who didn't want to fight that, it was going to be doomed to have 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th place. Like, it just wasn't going to happen. But anyway, that'll come out tomorrow.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, it took me a while to finish the season because that should show you how I felt about the season. But
The only reason I finished it because I did the finale recap.
you know what? The show did really great with inclusivity. I really
Sure.
did appreciate that, but that was probably the best part of the season.
I mean, I can look at a photo. I just don't. I don't need to watch a whole season. I don't. You can be like, oh my god, look how well we cast this. Like, it doesn't mean it's a good show. Yeah. I mean, it's lost its zing. I think it also could be because it came
Yeah.
out around the same time as Traders, and I found Traders to be just more captivating.
Oh,
I love strategy.
yes.
Like, you know, obviously there's some flaws in the show, but not enough for me not to be like, oh, I love it. Just give me more,
Yeah.
give me more, give me more. So
Yeah, no, Traders has risen to the top. Traders is where it's at, y'all. For sure.
where it's at.
All righty, everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us. We
Thanks.
appreciate you celebrating along with us. Chantele, thank you for being here as well. Thank
For
you
being born. Yes. Thank you
Yes.
for being you're welcome.
I love it. All right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks everybody for hanging out.
Yay.